folks, Troy with V-Twins to V8s back on the 240Z project. I've got my hood that I got from my client, and I'm going to completely strip this and get rid of all the rust. Then we can fit it back on the car and start doing some body work. So let's get at it. I've got my hood that I got from my client. You'll notice it has the vents in the top of it. Yes, it is a 280 hood, but that's what he wants. So I got the hood on here and I got it fitting pretty good. But it's got some issues. It's got some rust on it. It looks like there's some filler up in this area here. There's rust on the other side. So the first thing I did was I fitted it to the car so that I knew that, you know, what I had to do with my other panels. And I got good body lines, and I got a good fit to all of my adjacent panels here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this off, and I'm going to completely strip this and get rid of all the rust. Then we can fit it back on the car and start doing some body work. Okay, so we're back here on the 240Z project. I've got my hood completely stripped and I fitted it to the car, and I've got some pretty decent body lines. So now what I'm going to work on is I do have some dents and imperfections in this hood. I'm going to get these tinned out, little hammer and dolly type work, and then once I get that done, I'm going to apply some filler and we'll get on with the repair. So let's go. Project, and today we are going to put some primer, direct to metal primer from the folks at House of Color, and then we're going to put some FeatherFill G2 on our panels and get them ready. So we got a hood, a valance panel, and the Cowl Vent panel. Those are the last pieces, so we're going to get at it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use KD3000 in gray and KD3000 hardener, along with just a splash of the RU310 fast reducer, just to make it smooth and easy to spray. We really only need to have basically just a coat or two. This is what's going to provide our corrosion protection and our adhesion to our bare steel. Then we're going to follow it up with our FeatherFill G2. This is what's going to be our high build polyester primer, and we're going to mix that up and we're going to apply that. So without further ado, we're going to get at it. So I'm all done doing my spraying. I cleaned up my spray equipment. For the FeatherFill, I use acetone. That way there it cleans up my FeatherFill really nice. When I clean up my epoxy primer, I use just straight up lacquer thinner. And so that's it. Now I'm going to show you the results and see what our panels look like. So there we go, folks. We got our panels all in FeatherFill G2. We'll let these dry for probably about a week or so. In the meantime, I'll be going back to the shell and we'll start working on those other panels. I got a few touch-up spots I have to sand out. Then I'm going to epoxy prime the entire car. Then we'll block that out. Then we'll actually be ready for some paint. So stay tuned. Okay, so now that we got our hood all in FeatherFill primer and epoxy primer, we are going to put it on the car, refit the hood and the cowl, and we're going to get at that right now. Kind of have a method to this madness. Always ask me, Troy, how do you do all this stuff by yourself? Well, you kind of work it out. And that's all there is to it. Voila, that's how you put on a hood by yourself. We'll tweak around with this, get this adjusted, then we'll put the cowl vent on. So my hood looks pretty good on the inside as well. This is where my bolts go on. I got my latch in here and I'm just gonna snug it up just a little bit so it can be movable, and then it's gonna drop down in here, and then you see I got my hood stops here, and then I got these wedges that I purchased that centers the hood in between the fenders. So we should have a pretty nice body line. I'll do a little adjusting, we'll get this closing, then we'll throw our cowl vent piece on, and we should have a pretty good looking car here. Okay, so as you can see, I got my hood on. I got nice line here, a nice line going along here. I got a nice line coming along here and there. So, I mean, I really like it. So I think I'm gonna do now is I'll pop my hood open and I'll get my cowl vent panel. I'll lay that on here and we'll see what this is really gonna look like when it's all set. We got our hood all fitted on the car. Latches are all adjusted. Cowl is on there. I got a nice line here, I got a nice line going along there, and I got a nice line on the other side. So basically all that's got to happen is this stuff has got to dry. I'll roll it over, I'll show you it the other way. So as you can see, we got a nice line going right up this side, and then we got a nice line going right up that side. And then as we go along, we look up here, right along this cowl vent panel, everything's looking pretty good. I like the way it fits on all of my adjacent panels. I mean, you know, give or take a little millimeter here or there. I think it looks pretty darn good. And yeah, I mean, these panels are not exactly precise fitted, but I think I got it pretty good. And now I can work on some of this other stuff. So there you go, folks. My hood's all on and fitted. I got it fitted to my little doors that open up. I got my cowl vent panel. It's all straightened out. It fits the hood pretty nicely. And, you know, now we basically got all the pieces done. Behind you guys over there is the balance panel. That's all ready to go as well. Not really that much of a critical fitting piece. But I would like to get my vents here for my client so I can make sure that everything's right there. And I got all of these little, you know, acne type areas I have to take care of. And then we'll start repriming this panel by panel, and then the shell will probably be the last piece. So what I'll do is I'll take like probably the lift gate, I'll get that all doctored up. I will prime that. I'll stash that, then I'll do the doors, and so on and so forth, fenders, and by then the hood should be ready. I'll be able to sand that, get that ready to go for the second round, and then after that, it's sand it and it's ready for paint. So stay tuned on the project, like and subscribe, and good luck on your project.